Hi Pioneers, welcome back to your national news show. My name is Hallie Whistler.
And I'm Anna Wilming. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, let's start off with some pop culture.
During the Billboard Music Awards, Christina Aguilera was honored for her humanitarian work. Billboard writes, quote, "Her voice is not her only gift," end quote, implying her love for her community.
The singer and former coach of The Voice was honored with the Spirit of Hope Award during the live telecast. She added that has always been important for her to use her position with integrity and purpose to help people who are in need.
Ned Fulmer, one member of the Try Guys, has been released from the show after he admitted to cheating on his wife, Ariel Fulmer, with an employee of the show. Quote, "Family should have always been my priority, but I lost focus," Fulmer said.
The Try Guys is a show on YouTube in which the four members try different things. Their videos brought in about 100 million views on the BuzzFeed YouTube channel. The quartet left BuzzFeed in 2018 to start their own production company and channel. Their independent channel has almost 2.2 billion views and 7.8 million subscribers.
In 2014, over the course of 12 episodes, Serial probed the details of the murder case of Hae Min Lee, Anand Saeed's former girlfriend. Lee was found strangled to death in Baltimore Lincoln Park in 1999. In 2000, Saeed was convicted of murdering Lee when he was 17 years old. He spent 23 years in prison.
On Monday, in a Baltimore courtroom, a judge ruled to vacate his conviction. Beyond the tremendous impact Serial has had on Saeed's case and on exposing the flaws in the legal system, the podcast broke new ground in episodic audio storytelling.
Now let's dive into some national news. First, let's start with a weather update on Hurricane Ian. So let's throw it over to Chase for the update.
Thanks, guys. As of right now, Ian has been running on its descent and at minimal harm thus far in the storm. There are some flash floods and coastal flood warnings as a cause of the hurricane, and people are expected to see some flooding in many coastal cities, such as Noggs Head, North Carolina, all the way to Montauk, New York. Wind is also a variable in the aftermath of the storm. Places such as Ocean City are experiencing winds of 25 to 40 miles per hour. Other spots in the path of the hurricane are reaching 5 to 30 mile per hour gusts of wind as well. That's all I have for your Ian update, Pioneers. Now let's throw it over to Brady to dive deeper into the effects of Hurricane Ian on the state of Florida.
The life-threatening storm made landfall on Florida's southwestern coast, bringing heavy rain, high winds, and a catastrophic storm surge. Hurricane Ian sustained winds up to 155 miles per hour, which is just shy of a Category 5 storm. The storm knocked out all power in Cuba, and millions of people in Florida are without power. The storm started out as a Category 4 near Fort Myers, and after making landfall, downgraded to a Category 3. The Naples area was expected to get about 6 to 9 feet of surge, and Tampa Bay was expected to get 4 to 6 feet of surge. The United States has not experienced a storm of this severity since Hurricane Harvey and Hurricane Irma in 2017. The storm moved its way up eastern Georgia and the Carolinas, where heavy rainfall was expected. Biden declared a state of emergency in Florida, and the storm is labeled as extremely dangerous and life-threatening. Currently, 1.8 million people are without power, and the storm could cause up to $70 billion in property damage. The total damage and death toll is still unknown, but recovery efforts are currently underway.
Thanks to Chase for the live weather report, and thanks to Brady for the aftermath update. Now let's get into some more national news. In Las Vegas, mass shooting survivors turn to each other to find strength through tragedy. The sprawling outdoor area is just across from the Mandalay Bay Hotel and Casino. That's where the gunman stayed, renting a suite on the 32nd floor, in which he opened fire on the crowds attending Route 91 Harvest, which is an open-air country music concert below.
Today, a sign at what was is now an overflow parking lot for a nearby stadium, promised a permanent memorial for the site. Someday. Quote, "It's crazy that 5 years later there's still nothing, but there's a sign that's saying there's going to be something," end quote, says survivor and Las Vegas resident Heather Goose. Quote, "Now there's a parking lot where people were murdered. It's terribly upsetting," end quote.
Charles was officially proclaimed king on the Saturday following the Queen's death. This event took place at the St. James Palace in London in front of a ceremonial body known as the Accession Council. Now let's take a closer look at the coronation with Inul.
Good morning, Pioneers. King Charles just succeeded to the throne. Let's take a look at what his future as king will look like. King Charles III is the new monarch of the United Kingdom. He is 73 years old and was previously titled the Prince of Wales. Charles was proclaimed king on the Saturday following his mother's death, the late Queen Elizabeth II. Camilla Parker Bowles, whom Charles had an affair with while being married to the late Princess Diana, is the new queen consort. Charles has 2 sons, William, Prince of Wales, and Harry, Duke of Sussex, whom which he both had with Diana. William is next in line for the throne, and his son George will succeed after him, meaning that for the foreseeable future, the time ahead of Britain will be led by male monarchs. Public approval of Charles is gradually rising in Britain, with 42% of people who live in the UK say that they are excited to see what his future as king will look like.
That's all for today. Back to the day.
Thanks, Anil. Well, that's all we have for you today, Pioneers. For The Juice, I'm Hallie Whistler.
And I'm Anna Wilming. We hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next week.